Okay, everybody, back to work. Mark Martin has joined us a few minutes early, so let's catch up with Mark, who is 11th in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series standings. And Mark, I guess you can claim this as your home track?
Yeah, I can. It's kind of strange, but certainly could do that. I've been here since '94, so Arlie and I were just talking about that. It's been a long time. We've been down here a long time. Matt was just a little bitty fella.
All right, who's got the first question for Mark? That looks like Ed, and then we'll go to Godwin, and then we'll go to Greg.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com, same theme question I've been asking. Mark, as wild as Talladega was back in the spring, the record pass, lead changes and all that, on this tighter, bumpier track, could it be even wilder, or is the handling factor going to separate things out so that we won't see anything similar to a Talladega?
Well, that's a really good question. It can't lend itself to quite a Talladega, the last Talladega, because of exactly what you said. Wore-out pavement, bumpy, and that wore-out pavement, by the way, I think every one of us are partial to, and it is more narrow. So when we come back in February, it will lend itself more toward the last Talladega race, but it's still going to be not quite as wide, so it's still going to be a little bit more hairy. But this is going to be a blend, a nicer blend of handling, and drafting and packs, and it's going to be a nicer blend, I think, than Talladega. But the thing that I saw in February here that I was really surprised, we weren't able to separate ourselves like we had been in the past. We stayed packed up, or we stayed locked on to one another, even when it got almost down to 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, running together. We weren't able to shed one another like we had been in the past. So we may still have that, and that may have been a function of the tire, being better or something. But we weren't able to shed these guys like I'd like to. I like to race Daytona, where after a little while you can really do one-on-one racing and not rely quite as much on packs and pushes and those kind of things. I don't think it's going to separate out that much even this time based on February, but certainly be a nicer blend.
Godwin.
Mark, I'm doing something on Dale Jr. in the 3-car, and I think you might be the only guy still racing that raced against that color scheme. And plus, you've worked for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Can you just give me your thoughts on seeing that car at Daytona again?
I think it's it's really an awesome sight. And I know that a lot of our fans weren't around during that era, but a lot of them were too. And for all the ones that were, they really get it. I think that I certainly share the same feelings, and it's good to see. It's good to see Junior in it, and it's good to see it happening. So I think it's met with really warm reception from everyone that was around in that era.
Greg? Dwight? Greg? I think it's Greg, right? Sorry, guys.
I know you. No, I'm not going to ask you where you're going to be next year, but I do want to know. You've never been a fan.
The 5.
Okay, good. The number. Sorry.
That's all right.
You've never been a fan of these type of restrictor plate style the races, but with Daytona, are you more favored towards Daytona than Talladega?
Yes, without a question. Yes.
And the new pavement will change that?
Yes, that will change that as well. But you know what the weirdest thing is about that? Because I won twice at Talladega. Why shouldn't, I don't know. So, that's how ironic, well, everything is. But I do enjoy racing here more than Talladega because of what we just discussed about, it being more of a blend of handling and one-on-one, a little bit more one-on-one kind of racing than just 100% total major chaotic pack, whatever line you're in, works or doesn't work, and you don't always have a lot of input on the results, the way the Talladega race goes today. And so with the new pavement, it will lend itself more toward that. It's still going to be Daytona. It's still going to be narrow. It's going to be probably pretty doggone hairy. I would have to say that it should be incredibly exciting for the fans because it's going to be all new, everything, and it's definitely going to pack the cars up, and it's definitely going to lend itself to what we do. It's going to lend itself to what we do at Talladega even more. So pull your straps down tight and let's go. You bet.
Go ahead, Dwight, and then ladies, Tanya has one in the back. And then we'll go Tanya and then Reed. Go ahead, Dwight.
Dwight Drum, RaceTake.com. Mark, do you have any off-track, after we're coming up where you guys actually get a week off,
yeah.
Do you have any off-track activities like maybe aviation that really kind of like takes you away from it, but actually gives you an edge to your racing?
Well, I am an avid aviator, but I'm a business aviator. And I say that sort of unfortunately because I think that doing aerobatic flying and lessons and flying would make me a better pilot, better business aviator. But I'm not really into that. I don't really like getting sick at my stomach, and I don't like really getting scared, and all those different things. So anyway, to answer your question, I do have some things on the pilot side coming up that are exciting for me. Moving in and moving forward, stepping up one step in aircraft and in training and in those kind of things. But I have promised Matt and Arlene I would take them to Europe. And obviously I thought I was going to be retired by the time he graduated. And when I made the deal to not be retired when he was graduated, I decided that I would buckle down and do it, man up, They waved the green flag on signing the deal with the 5-car, and I'm waving the green flag on our European vacation. So we're going, after Chicago, and we're pretty excited about it.